Good evening, everyone. This is Amy with 100 Plus Abandoned Dogs of Everglades, Florida. Gonna wait for you to jump on before I continue. Good evening. Thanks for the clear, Sue. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Sherry. Hi, everyone. First, I'd like to say it's been a busy, very busy day. Since I spoke with you last night, as you can see, we've had a lot of emergencies going on here. Let me just shut this down. A lot of emergencies going on here at 100 Plus Abandoned Dogs of Everglades, Florida, 501c3 Rescue. As you might have seen just a little bit ago, Tiffany did an update of Puppy Lazarus, aka Puppy Deuce, and he was at the neurologist. I'm so tired. Neurologist all day today, receiving MRIs and spinal taps, and Tiffany's been down there all day. I know she's exhausted, lack of sleep. That little baby is quite special. So we took him in as a surrender because the owner could not afford any medical care, and we wanted to do everything we could to give him a chance. With that comes a large cost of medical, as you could see. Just for today, it was about $4,000, and we desperately need your help by donating, and that is why I have added the donation link on my video that I'm going to be updating all of you with. I know you've all been waiting because Carol's been getting private messages, and I've been getting countless messages in reference to the Malinois. So on top of Puppy Lazarus, also I've been on the phone with our foster Maria, who's been fostering sweet, cute little Charlie, the white Chihuahua that we rescued from the Broward Kill Shelter, if any of you remember. Adorable little dog surrendered by his family, middle-aged, 5 years of age. Appeared to be just perfectly healthy, sweet as can be, and he has a trachea, another one with a trachea problem. He had x-rays, he was coughing, that was a couple weeks ago. He was put on Baytril, he was put on different antibiotics, and then today he stopped, he couldn't breathe. So she called me and rushed him over to the Leader Hospital 24-hour in Cooper City, where he was put in an oxygen chamber. And I've been just on the phone with one emergency, this hospital, that hospital, the fosters. So it's been just another crazy day in rescue. On top of all of that, I did get updated with the Special Victims Unit at BSO about the Malinois. So the Malinois, her name is Sasha. And I think late last night when I did my update video, yes, that's what I'm talking about, Jackie. The Malinois is the shepherd. It's a Malinois is the breed. Her name is Sasha, the dog that was locked in the crate. So everybody's asking the same question. Hold on. Okay. Last night when I did my video, I was told and updated that Sasha was no longer by Special Victims, that Sasha was not in the home where we returned her to. We were demanded, threatened basically, that we needed to return the dog or I was going to be arrested by Officer Reyes. Last night we were told she wasn't there. So I will tell you, a lot has happened today. I received a call again today after I told you last night that the other day I received a call from the owner, the female, threatening me, screaming at me, and I filed a supplement report with BSO as far as protecting not only myself, but my wife, my family, my rescue houses. I don't take threats lightly, as nobody should. So I did file the supplement report. Today, yes, I'm talking Officer Baldwin, Michael Baldwin. He is the supervisor, as I stated yesterday, and he is overseeing this investigation with Special Victims Unit. Not only, but he investigates animals. He does not investigate people, which means Officer Reyes is not being investigated according to him or by him. He doesn't know what's transpiring other than he is investigating on the dog. So I want you all to sit back and I want you to please listen to me. And first of all, I'm going to ask you, do you trust me? As far as, do you believe that I am honest? Do you believe that I am transparent? Do you believe that my life and my focus in life is nothing but the best interest of the animals? That is my question to you before I continue speaking. And I will tell you right now that social media is an open forum. This is a forum where everybody can say what they think, what they feel, whether their comments are ridiculous. You trust me. Okay. Well, I would like to tell you that, and I want you to listen to me, because Carol and I have been in rescue for many years, and we have dealt on extremely high volume with so many different cases, with so many different cruelty cases. We've been in court. We've been witnesses. You mention it, and I believe we've done it. We've had death threats. We've had to move. We've had to have restraining orders because we have fought for the animals. I believe we know a liar. I believe we know an animal abuser the second we see them. Now, with this being said, I received a call today from the owner of the dog. The owner of the dog is a man. His name is Joseph. His girlfriend called me again. This time, when she called me today, she started off with, "You have to stop sending the police to our house. My children are petrified. They're terrified." And I said, first of all, we need to talk. We need to talk like two adults. The conversation between her and I and the boyfriend, all on a speaker conference. Carol was on it as well. I will tell you the conversation went on for over an hour. Now, I want you to understand something. The reason we do this and the reason that we try to talk calmly is because we are not only a rescue. No one feels bad for the owners. Now, Zoe, I want you to stop right there, please. Okay, I'm not asking you to make a joke of this, and I'm not asking you to feel bad for the owners, please. Okay, please don't start with that. I'm asking you to please understand. I'm going to tell you, I don't feel bad for anybody. The only one I feel bad for is a dog in need and in distress. So let me just finish what I was saying, please, before we start throwing out all of our negative. Okay, please. Yes, this is the owner of the dog. The owner and his girlfriend that were yelling and screaming the night that Keith and I returned the dog back to the owner. And it really got heated that night. And then let's not forget, because I don't forget, when I got called and I got threatened that she's gonna kill me and she's gonna blow up my house. So don't think I forget all this, okay? You're talking about a different caliber, a different mentality of people. Let's leave that out of the equation. Please, I'm begging of you. The conversation went on for over an hour, and I might be having to call Carol in here. Basically talking about the situation of the dog, educating them on the dog and the conditions of how you can place a dog in a crate outside of a home the way she was placed. Now, we asked them a lot of questions as far as the dog being inside, being outside. I received photos. I received videos that she's inside. She's with them. He had proof of vaccines. We tried to educate him on spaying her, because the last thing we need is for her to have babies. He already showed us. He showed us that he sent me photos. He showed us that he has the whatever the information. He's going to take her to get her spayed. We offered to pay to get her spayed. Carol and I both offered to pay to get her spayed. I offered to have him surrender the dog if she was too much work for him. And he kept repeating over and over again, I love my dog. I love my dog. And I said, listen, education is so important. It is so important. And all I can tell you is, first of all, they're still being investigated. The situation is being investigated, okay? That goes without say. Now, we all know what transpired that night, right? So we were notified on social media about a dog in a crate. And we went to the location. We called for assistance for a police officer. Police Officer Reyes declined, said he wasn't coming. Then I called animal control. Then I got a call back from another police officer, Mulan. He told me he wasn't coming. I waited, and all of a sudden Officer Carol came to assist me. Officer Reyes showed up, the first police officer. The three of us walked towards the crate. We saw the crate. We saw the dog. No food, no water, no pen, no shelter. We looked to the left. There's a door with a lockbox on it. Immediately, we assumed they moved out and they abandoned their dog. That's what we painted this picture in our heads. This is what we saw. Now, I get the bolt cutters out of my car. Officer Reyes cuts the dog. We all work together. Officer Reyes cuts the dog out of the crate. He hands us, we take the dog, off we go. We go to the rescue house, we're getting her settled, and then all of a sudden, I receive a call from Officer Reyes threatening me. Well, at first he said, you need to return the dog. And I said, what? Return the dog? What are you talking about? And he said, well, we have an owner. And I said, do you have proof of ownership? And he wouldn't answer me. And he said, I'm telling you right now, you need to return the dog or I'm going to arrest you. Carol kept on and on. What do you have for proof? What do you have for proof? He said he had proof. Kept on with, I'm going to arrest you if you do not return the dog. At one point, I said, have them come here and pick up their dog. He said, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen like that. And I said, give them my name and number and have them come here and pick up the dog. He said, no, you're going to bring the dog here or I'm going to arrest you for theft. I didn't appreciate being threatened by the officer who literally cut the dog out of the kennel and gave us the dog. Now, let me explain how important what the next thing I'm going to say. I want to tell you something. That officer, think about this. That officer assisted us with saving that dog initially. He cut that dog out of that crate. I can tell you from experience, he could have said, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. He assisted us in saving the dog. what happened after I found all this out from the owner. After we left with the dog, and then I had to return the dog. But after I left with the dog, before I returned the dog, and the owner came out, because he stated that Sasha poops in the house all the time. They're having a really hard time potty training her. She's not crated inside the apartment. Granted, she is a Malinois. She is a year of age. She is super, super, super high energy. I'm going to tell you right now, I've rescued many, many Malinois. I can tell you right now, I saw her energy within the 20 minutes that we had her. Carol in the car, pulling up, flapping her arms and bite marks all up and down her arm, whether it was playful or not. She's extremely high energy and extremely hyper. When I had her at the rescue house, she was very, very, very mouthy to my volunteers, where I told everybody, stand up, you have to be stern, you have to be alpha with her. She is a Malinois, and she is a young puppy. She is very hard to potty train, and I am not, and I told him straight out that you cannot ever, ever put that dog in a crate like that ever again. Carol said very calmly to both of them as we had it on conference, she said, you know, and we both, this is how we really feel. You know, we're not perfect. And we learn so much as we grow and we go every day. None of us, not any one of you, including myself, knows everything. And I will be the first person to say, when I make a mistake, when I learn something, I try to learn from it. I try not to repeat it. I did not know half of what I know in animal rescue until I became an animal rescue. And I can't tell you how many people that I talk about or talk to on a daily basis, that when I'm talking to them, I can't believe how uneducated they are about animals. So isn't it part of my duty and my job to educate the community, whether it's spay and neuter, how to care for an animal, how to walk an animal, what proper gear to put on an animal or a rescue so they don't get out or slip out of a harness, crating. It's so important to educate people in animal rescue. You say it all day long. I see your comments. I can't tell you, every single day our wonderful supporters come on here and they write, I learned everything from you, Amy. I learned so much from you, Amy. I knew none of this before I started following you. So what makes that any different than the average person on the street? And let's just say this person or a person was never brought up, taught how to take care of an animal, and then they decide they want to get an animal. We are here to educate and to teach people how to be kind to animals and properly take care of animals. How to make sure that animals don't belong to live outside, how to make sure that animals should be considered family and not an object, that you don't discard an animal, that they are forever commitment. All of this is educating. So with this being said, I can promise you, I feel in my heart, and Carol will agree with me, 100%. I feel after the conversation with the owners of Sasha, I feel I made an amazing, huge breakthrough with both of them. Now, if I'm wrong, then I will admit that I'm wrong. But I'm going to tell you that we both feel that we made a huge breakthrough with this couple, educating them about their dog. Now, they invited me to their house today. They invited Carol and I to come over. They wanted to talk. They wanted to show us the dog. They were apologizing. Miss Amy, you're right. Miss Amy, thank you. I'm sorry. They promised they will never, ever, ever put the dog outside. I said, listen, if your dog poops in the house, and they have a pit bull also. And I saw the pit bull when I was sitting in the car. I was watching a young boy walking this magnificent, gorgeous, gray, full beefy pit bull that was so magnificent that is her dog. That dog sleeps in her bed every night. She said, Amy, she's calm, she's sweet. I said, do they get along? Does Sasha get along? She said, my Pitty doesn't want to be bothered. They get along. There's no fighting, but my pit bull doesn't want to get along or be playing with her because she's so high energy. She's off the wall. And I said, a dog like that is a working dog. A dog like that needs a job. He said, the owner, Joseph, said, my uncle is a police officer. I fell in love with his Malinois, which is why I got the breed. He said, I run her 3 times a day. Run her hard. And he said, when I also live with my mother and my stepfather. We have a big house with a big property. It's a 6-foot wood fence. He showed a video. She can scale a 6-foot fence like that. Like that. So they're telling him they have to add to the fence in order for her to be able to get proper exercise. So he's running this dog. You can run this dog 5 times a day. 5 minutes later, she's going to want to run again. That's the breed. Trust me. I am not a breed-specific rescue, but I will be the first to be honest with you. That is not one of my favorite breeds. The energy is so high energy. Just like I'll rescue them all day long and I'll find them the best homes, but I'm not going to have one in my house. It's just not my type of dog. I don't want a high energy crazy dog. I can't. It's just not my kind of dog. So with this being said, we were invited over to the house to come over. We chose to decline right now just because, number one, the pandemic. I don't want to go into people's homes. I really don't, if I don't have to. And also, it is an ongoing investigation, and I don't want to get in the middle of anything. I want to let the police do their job. So, what can I tell you? I felt so great after we had this conversation. You can believe me or not believe me, and you're entitled to your opinion. But I'm going to tell you that I am not worried about a death threat, and that was the least. Not that that's not a huge issue, but I wanted to, first of all, it was killing me. It was killing me all night and all day when I heard that she was no longer there. And what transpired with that was the police officers are continuously going to their home. He told me that the officer came at 5 o'clock in the morning, shining flashlights in their windows. The kids are terrified. She has 2 young kids. And when the officers came there one morning, she answered the door and she said, the dog's no longer here. It's with the owner. The owner is really the boyfriend. And it's her apartment. He comes to visit there. So at that moment, the dog was with him. She just wanted to get rid of them and go away. But in reality, it caused more aggravation because now they want to know where the dog is. But they did confirm. I spoke to Michael, and he confirmed, Michael Baldwin from Special Victims, he confirmed the dog is safe and the dog is safe with them. He confirmed also that he is continuing his ongoing investigation. As far as the dog ever being put out in a crate, they swore up and down that the dog will never go in a crate. I said, listen, if the dog shits all over the house, she cleans up the mess. You take the dog out of the apartment, take her for a run, put her in the car, take her for a ride, put the air conditioning on. And they both said, you're right, Miss Amy, you're right. So I told them that they're going to be watched like a hawk. There are so many people watching, and they know it. They know it. There are so many people watching this situation, and I told them, don't think that in a day, a week, a month, they're going to stop watching you, because this should be a way of life for you from here on out, the way you treat your dogs, and they agreed. All I can tell you, I feel so confident that we educated this couple, and you know when somebody is blowing smoke. Trust me, you know when someone is blowing smoke. And it's just like the other incident that I went, the dog that was running with its owner, perfect example, not to distract this situation or break away from this, but we went to the guy's house. We went inside the house. We saw the dog. We spoke to him. Without a question in my mind, he loves his dog. The person that was taking the video came running at him, screaming, swearing at him. I still had people coming on here. Then why did he refuse water? Because he wanted to get out of that situation. He picked up his dog. You could see that he was a wreck. He carried his dog and walked away peacefully. He called his father. He called the vet. He went home immediately to get his dog cooled down. We went there. He agreed he should not be running his dog. He won't be running his dog. They're saying he had a muzzle around the mouth. It's a gentle lead. A lot of people walk with a gentle lead around. Yes, Sergio. So listen, I'm not gonna win. There's so many animal lovers and they're so passionate. Some are a little extreme. I don't want to say crazy, but some of us are a little bit more extreme than the other. I've been there. I tell you right now, when I'm in a situation and the animal is in distress or in need, I lose my cool. I lose it. I've gotten better, much better over the years. Listen, you saw Carol in action the other night when we were breaking Sasha out of the kennel with Officer Reyes. You saw Carol and I. You said you watching the both of us, you were laughing, crying, couldn't believe how, the anxiety, it happens when you're that passionate and you care that much and you dedicate your entire life and every waking moment to animals. So do you think that I'm going to continue? I'm going to go to this house. I'm going to work to get the dog safe. I didn't see anybody else go there. I didn't see one other person on the thread get in their car and go to help that dog. Nobody. I went there. Carol went there. We were there all night. We came back to the rescue house. We had to bring the dog back. We started with the emails. We started with the phone calls, with the live videos. Do they live in the location where the door? Okay, so that's a really good question. So when I was speaking to the owner, Joseph, I said, when we pulled up and we see this crate, and listen, let's not make any mistake. That crate and the way that dog was sitting outside is absolutely unacceptable on every level. Every level. The crate was too small. First of all, no animal should be in a crate outside. See, here I am. No animal should be in a crate outside. I don't care if it's for 20, 30 minutes I don't care how long it is. No animal should be in a crate like that. There were padlocks on the crate. Why? Because she breaks out of them. She's Houdini. There was no pan on the bottom. No answer for that. No answer why there was no pan on the bottom of the crate. Sitting on the dirt. It was nighttime when we pulled up. But from what I understand, the first photo was during the day when she had shit and they put her out to clean the house and bleach out the floors during the day, which was for 20 minutes. And the crate is unacceptable. Bottom line. That dog should never, ever see a crate like that ever, ever again. They agreed. That's all I can tell you. So when we pulled up and we saw the crate and we saw the dog and we looked over to the left and we saw a lockbox. A lockbox on the doorknob of that apartment door. Immediately we thought it was abandoned and they left the dog. What it is apparently the apartment front door is on the opposite side. On that side, the owner of the property put lockboxes instead of a second key to the back door. So, no, it's not 48 hours. It's not that's what we were told. That's what we were told. But now let me explain something to you. The person who I'm so grateful for. I'm so grateful for Brenda. I'm so grateful because without Brenda, who posted about this, none of this would have happened. None of this, the dog would still probably be going out in that crate and being out there while they're cleaning. Could be an hour, could be 2 hours. For however long they would put that dog outside, they said they put it out to clean. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. Unacceptable on every level. Brenda doesn't live there. Brenda has a family member that lives in that neighborhood. She jogs around that neighborhood. So when she saw the dog the first day, I don't know what time it was. She did not sit there, and she doesn't live there next in the neighborhood where she's monitoring every hour on the hour. This is the difference. See, there's no documentation, there's no video footage, timestamped showing that the dog was there 24, 48 hours overnight. There's no proof of that. So when she was jogging and saw the dog the first day, jogging, came back the second day. Coincidence? Dog's out again. I don't know the answer to that. I can only tell you what I do know. What I do know is that I feel that we have educated this couple. If I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm wrong. I'm trying to get you to see outside of the box. That's all I'm trying to do. I am not trying to talk you into anything or persuade you. I don't have any reason to. I don't have any reason to. Ann Peterson, I'm sorry, Amy, any amount of time is still too much. That is correct. That's what I just said, Ann. I just said no animal should ever live or be placed in a kennel crate like that for any amount of time. The padlock, I just said, because the dog breaks out of the crate in 2 seconds. That's why they put the padlock on the crate. I'm just trying to see here. I'm still pissed about Officer Reyes. Good point. Great point, Vanessa. Because I feel, now here's where I go. Let's leave that situation alone, okay? Because the dog is safe now, right? Let's go to Officer Reyes. Now, first and foremost, I want you to think, and I really want you to think, the way he treated me and the way he talked to me was 100%. I mean, 100% so disrespectful, threatening me that he's going to arrest me, yelling at me, and telling me that I don't know the law. He clearly doesn't know the law. He stated that crate. Now, hear me out. That crate, after we returned the dog and we were fighting as I was sitting in the passenger seat of Keith's car, I want you to think about this. And you want to know what? This just came to me. When I was sitting in the passenger seat and he's telling me that I don't know the law, that's legal, that it's okay. Think about this. It's okay that the dog was in that crate. Really? If it's okay that that dog is in the crate like that, why did he rescue the dog? Why did he cut the dog out of the crate if it's okay and legal? Why? So think about that. I'm going to tell you what happened. And and this is so important. I'm going to tell you what happened. First of all, I don't want to take away, which is so important because, listen, we need the police officers to work with us as a rescue. We need, when we call for assistance, whether it's the police or animal control, we need to work together. And the only way to help these animals in these cruelty charges is if we work together, we know the laws, and we know the statutes, and we educate ourselves. I'm going to be the first to say I don't know all the laws and statutes. That's why I carry around a laminated copy in my car. I think that every officer should be forced. It should be mandatory that they carry around a copy of the statutes. It's really simple. It's basically all lined out for you. You can highlight them, laminate it. Statutes and ordinances, just like we do. Have those in the car. It should be mandatory. So when I spoke to Michael Baldwin, Special Victims Unit, and we had a nice conversation tonight, he agreed. He agreed that after the pandemic, there has to be some serious educating of the laws, of animal protective laws, statutes, ordinances from Broward, And his officers need to be freshened up, and they need to know the statutes and the ordinances. So they have already discussed that after the pandemic, that they are going to be handed a copy, and they're going to be freshened up on the laws, because a lot of them do not know them. And I told him, I said, listen, we've had officers come out. It was just recent. There was another dog in a cage, remember? I don't know if you remember. It was a pup. And the officers were so nice. They showed up and they were like, we don't know. And I handed him a copy, and there were like 3 officers, and a supervisor came out and everything. And they're over there and they're reading and they're reading, and they're like, they came back and they're like, wow, I didn't know that. Thank you. This is great. Or they say, like he said, I don't know. Let me ask my supervisor. Before telling me that you can't do something or saying that there's nothing wrong with the situation, educate yourself. Educate yourself. Just like me, okay, opening up a 501c3 rescue. Do you know how big the book is to learn all the ins, the outs, the do's, the don'ts, the rights, the wrongs of being a 501c3? I don't think I could learn them all in my lifetime. So you learn everything as you go and as you grow in life. And I feel the same thing with this. So as I was stating, let me get back to Officer Reyes and Vanessa, your comment. He cut Sasha out of the crate. He did help us save her that night. Okay? Now, the difference is, I don't want him to be punished for doing that. Because what he did, and just in case you don't know, this is super important. And I made sure that it was factual, and law before I even stated this. But let me just say something. When I was talking to Special Victims Unit, I know this because it's in the statutes. When an officer, not an animal control, when a police officer sees an animal in distress, they can remove the animal. It is their duty to remove an animal that is in distress. They do not need assistance from animal control. They can remove the animal. Do you know how many officers say to me or us, my team, when we're on a cruelty case, they pull up and they're like, we can't just take the dog. I'm like, officer, you can. Officer, you can. I show them the statute. They have no idea. That's how important. They don't know the laws. They need to refresh themselves. They need to be educated. They need to be carrying around these laminated pieces of paper so they can look back. Even if they go and they excuse themselves for a second, they sit in their police car and they read through. And then they say, you know what? I can do this. I can remove this animal. I don't need to leave this animal suffering or wait for animal control that's not responding or not coming for 8 hours or 2 days. They did you so wrong, Amy. What do you mean by that, Susan? By making what? The way they treated me, the way they talked to me, by the way Officer Reyes talked to me? I agree. I agree with you 100%. And that's what I said to Michael Baldwin from Special Victims. I said the way that he talked to me, the way that he screamed at me to make me feel like I'm a criminal, to tell me that I don't know the law, and for him to yell at me the way he did was absolutely so unprofessional. And it was so wrong, so disrespectful, so disrespectful. Absolutely, Pauline. Shirley, I'm a 501. Where do you get a book? I don't know. I'm told there's a book. I just keep reading and learning, and I know there's some big pamphlet, but there's so much to a 501. It's crazy. It's crazy. When upsets me is he gave info to them to put in danger. Okay. So I'm just so glad you guys are saying this. I think that I think Officer Reyes needs to make an apology as to number one, the way he spoke. I think the way that he threatened me on the phone. Um, and I did say to Mr. Baldwin, Michael Baldwin, I said, he told the owner who I was and my information, which put my life in danger. So his comeback was that when Officer Reyes called me initially, and I was at the rescue house. He had already given me Sasha. I was back at the rescue house. You saw us. We got her in the room. We took her out back. We were throwing balls and toys around. She was running all over the yard. We were playing around what we're going to name her. When Officer Reyes called me and he said, "You need to bring the dog back." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" I was shocked. I'm like, "I'm not bringing this dog back." He said, "No, you don't understand. You need to bring the dog back or I'm going to arrest you for theft." Carol happened to call in at the same time I was on the phone with Officer Reyes. So Carol and I were both on the phone talking. Carol was talking over me, as she normally does, and I do the same to her, because we're very passionate. And she was saying to Officer Reyes, she said, "What proof do you have? What proof? How do you know this is the owner? What proof do you have?" And he said, "You need to bring the dog back." And we kept saying, "Do you have medical records? Do you have vaccine records? Do you know?" Any person can say, "That's my dog." What proof do you have that this is their dog? So he demanded we brought the dog back. Otherwise, he was going to arrest me. Now, I said to him, "Why don't you have them come pick up their dog here?" I really didn't feel like driving back over there. I didn't want to be bothered. I said, "Why don't you have them? Why don't you come and get the dog?" And he said, "That's not the way it's going to work out. You're going to bring the dog here." I said, give him my name and give him my number and have him call me and come get the dog." Now, my argument was that was not what happened, because they did not, and he had no plans of him coming to my rescue house to come get the dog and pick up the dog. So there's zero reason for Officer Reyes to have given out my name and my information to that person when he knew I told him I was bringing the dog back. So there was zero reason for my name and my information to be given to them. But it was given to them. The owner told me today that Officer Reyes told him, now this is just hearsay. I haven't confronted Officer Reyes. I haven't spoken to Officer Reyes. He told me, the owner, that Officer Reyes said, "I stole his dog. I stole his dog with bowl cutters," and that he was demanding that I return the dog. Now, let me ask you something. If I didn't have all of this documented on live video, could you imagine what kind of shit show I would be in right now? It would be my word, his word, again, my word against his. Now, again, that was not coming, that's not what Officer Reyes said. That is what the owner of the dog said. Is it true? That I don't know. That's what was told to me today. So I want to get to the bottom of that. Again, I don't want to take away from the fact that Officer Reyes finally, after saying he wasn't coming to assist me, came to the scene, cut the dog out of the cage, because clearly he saw an animal in need and in distress. Do you honestly think a police officer of the law is going to cut a dog out of a crate if he did not see that the dog was in need of being saved? So for him then to tell me after I return the dog that I don't know the law and that the way that dog was living is legal, sorry, put the two and two together. Doesn't add up, does it? So with all this being said, I think this is a great educational learning experience for all of us. For me, I can only speak for myself. And I am extremely happy to know that the dog is there. The dog is safe. The Malinois, Sasha, is safe. She's been checked on. many times by the police. And she is safe. And she is in a clean home, no crate, being fed tons of food. And I will tell you, males are on the leaner side because of their energy. Again, I don't know what's going to happen with the criminal side as far as the criminal investigation, with the animal criminal investigation. I am going to stay out of the investigation. As far as I don't want to, I'm here to assist in what I have, what I experienced, but I'm also not going to get in the middle to interrupt anything that they're working on. So I will ask all of you, for now, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. You can continue to send your emails, follow up, do whatever you want to do. 100%. That's great. I think it's very important that we follow up. I plan on following up. Amy, Deuce, Lazarus, please. Pamela, where have you been? Tiffany just did a video. It's before my video that I'm doing now. She did a whole video updating after his MRI at home with him, and he's sleeping. When I shut down, Pam, go back and you'll see the video of puppy Lazarus. Okay, thank you. Sounds like Officer Ray is not qualified for his position. I think he definitely needs some refreshing. I think that he needs to definitely be spoken to about the way he handled the situation, the way he talked to myself, the way he lied. I'm going to call it a lie because it just, think about it. It doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. And for him to threaten me that he's going to arrest me for theft. What do you mean theft? You cut the dog out of the crate. You assisted us with saving this dog that we clearly saw needed help. So what are you threatening me for stealing and theft? It doesn't make any sense. And then you tell me that it's legal for this dog to be living in this crate, but yet you cut the dog out of the crate. Does any of this make sense? No. So, yes, the death threats were handled. Guys, it's the same girl that called me today, that threatened me the other day. And she's apologizing today because you saw how heated she got when I went back to return the dog. You saw her screaming. You saw her arms flapping. You saw the boyfriend in the background. Everybody was screaming. You saw it's live video. That's her personality. And I wasn't too calm either. I started raising my voice too, but I certainly wasn't, I don't think. I maybe have to go back and watch it. I know I can get pretty heated myself. But anyways, guys, I just want to say that we're going to stay on top of it. We're going to continue to follow this and make sure that she is definitely cared for and not put outside in that crate again. How did the other guy get the owner's dog? Sue, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh my God, wait, what? How did the other guy get the owner's dog? Sue, the owner, there's one owner of the dog. The dog was returned to the owner. When the police came to the apartment, the girlfriend wanted to get rid of the police officers and said, I don't have the dog, it's with the owner. We gave it to the owner. I gave it to the owner. The owner's her boyfriend. She just wanted to get the police away from her because apparently the police are going there all hours of the morning, the day, the night, which is great. They're investigating. They're following up. They're making sure the dog is not outside. It's upsetting her. It's upsetting her dogs. So they're over it. They're over it. I'm just reading. Possibly. But Officer Reyes would not get in trouble for helping break the dog out of that kennel because that dog clearly. Listen, you guys all were freaking out when you saw her sitting in that crate, right? Oh my God, get her out of there, pick up the cage, take her out. Everybody saw what we saw. We needed to get her out of there. No animal. I can't stand to see an animal in a crate. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Hate them. Which, all right, this is what Carol says. This is what Carol says. Take yourself and put yourself in the dog's body. I want you to crawl into a crate with no pan on the bottom. No food, no water. Just the grate part, the metal part, right? Put it outside in the sun. Crawl in there. Make sure it's not, nice and tall and big and roomy for you to lay down. Make sure it's just enough for you to stand up and turn around in a circle. Sit in there for about a half hour to an hour, a couple hours. How are you going to feel sitting in that crate, in that wire crate? How do you think the dog feels? How do you think any of your dogs feel if you decide you want to crate your dog and put your dog in a cage? I don't care what anybody says. This is my opinion, whether you believe me, whether you agree with me or not. My animals have never seen a cage in their life. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. I say, when people adopt and I ask questions, getting to know them, and I talk about crates and I ask them about crates, if they tell me they use crates and the dog's in a crate 8 hours a day, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Even training. All the puppies that we adopt out, they go out and they buy baby gates. They buy the extra tall baby gates, the close baby gates, and they section off a room. And it's tile. And they leave a TV or radio on if they have to be gone for a few hours. And they have their own section with some toys, a bed, water, a little bit of water, with a TV or radio on. That's their training. Or if it's a puppy and they don't want to give them access, those big round pens, like the children's round pens, the plastic or the metal, whatever you want to get, and they're enclosed but the whole top is open. Great way to train a puppy. No animal should be living locked in a cage. I'm sorry. Now, if you have a crate, a good size wire crate, and you have a bed in there, and it's a safe place, and the door's open all the time, and the dog actually likes to go in there, it's their little den, it's their safe place, but the door is open, that's a different story. They're not locked in there. They have the freedom and the choice to go in and out. So, that's just my opinion. I always say, put yourself, and Carol is the first one, put yourself in the dog's body. How would you feel? How would you feel? It's like these people that tie their dogs outside in the backyard on a tether, in the heat, no shelter, the rain, and they live outside. They live outside. How would you feel? Laying in a pile of dirt, in direct sunlight, you can't break away, you can't get out. You're stuck on a tether your whole life. I'd rather be euthanized myself. I would rather not be living. That to me is torture. That's a life of torture. Or sticking me in a crate 24/7. I'd rather not be here. That's hell on earth for me. So, okay. Now we're on a crate. Everybody's on hate crates, hate crates, hate crates. See what you started? I'm just catching up, and before I sign off, I'm reading some of the comments. Annalie, thank you. I have to explain. I'm the face of the rescue, so I can't just do things without. I could, like a lot of rescues do, but I feel that listen. We are so open and we are so transparent that we take you. And sometimes I'm thinking I need to slow down a bit with taking you guys along on my journeys because you're getting a little too hard on me. So it's like I think I just open up too much to you guys. For some of you, I should say. Exactly. Chains, right. Chains in the backyard are horrible. Dog is too big to be crated. Who needs a red? Who needs a red? She needs a red toy. Who needs a red toy? No, I want to go with you. You want to go on my journey, Kay? Listen, then you need to stop being so hard on me. And you have to understand, there is so much that goes into, look at my eyes, they're ready to fall out of my head. And Tiffany looks like she's going to fall asleep standing up. You have to understand how much goes on with running this organization day in and day out. And, oh my God, here's another one. How's Deuce? Oh, Madonna. Madonna, the video of Deuce, who's now Lazarus, because Tiffany hated the name Deuce. She wanted to change it to Lazarus, because, which I never heard Deuce means poop, make a poop. I never heard of that expression. She goes, I can't call him Deuce. I'm like, what is Deuce? Why not? She said, you never heard that expression? I said, no, I've never heard that expression. So she wanted to change it to Lazarus. So Laz. I'm like, whatever, okay. So now it's Lazarus. I feel like she's earned that right to change the name since she's not sleeping and he's in her house in her spare bedroom and she's up every hour on the hour. Um, I've been home. What? Ashley, you've been home for over 3 weeks? Listen, here's another thing. You guys are probably like just chilling, eating yourselves to a frenzy, like opening your refrigerator a million times and, ice cream and whatever, making cookies and just sitting on your couch. For all of you people that are really doing the whole social distancing and you're staying home. I haven't. I am so tired. Like, I'm looking around at my friends posting photos, how they're so bored and they're on the couch and watching, they've watched every show on Netflix. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I want one day of just like, Carol's home now because Carol's pretty much not working, a patient here, a patient there. And my phone, she's like, oh my God, Amy, it's doesn't stop. I'm like, you don't understand, Carol. And I can be a little short with her sometimes. And the reason being is because between the calls coming in and all the text messages, I've got this foster, I've got this hospital, then I've got this hospital, and then I've got this doctor, and I'm getting back to this one and that one. And she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm going to show you. So I literally was showing her what's happening in just an hour's time. And she's like, that's too much. This is insane. So with this being said, all of you that are posting your photos on social media, how bored you are and how you've watched every show on Netflix and you're baking cookies, eating ice cream, painting rocks, whatever you're doing. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. If I get to take a bath for 10 minutes and put my Alexa on and have my dog Brody sitting by my bathtub while I'm drinking my coffee, and my phone, mind you, is on the ledge of the tub with a towel, so when it rings, that I can dry my hand really quick and not miss a phone call. That if I go under to wet my head, I have to make sure I don't want to miss a phone call. It's not normal. Because if I take a long shower and I leave my phone and I come out, no exaggeration, probably miss about 30 to 40 phone calls. It's not right. It's just not right. So please understand that when we don't do continuous, constant videos and updates, and you guys are sending us messages, is you all right? And I love it. I love that you're concerned, but what's going on? And private messages. I said this in my last video. What's wrong? Where are you? Where's it? Oh my God. Blah, blah. I'm like, nothing. We're just breathing. We're just trying to catch up. As soon as we have a minute to sit back like I'm doing right now and do a live video in my bed, in my home, and update you, promise you. Cheryl Mays, I see you up there. You're guilty. You're sending private messages. Reese Lombardi, I know you're one of them too. I know it's all from the heart, and I love you guys so much, so much. But please, 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 please understand. We're gonna update you the second we have information. Thank you, Vanessa. She said, that's why I love you, your dedication. I spend a lot of time in my rocking chair on my front porch. Oh, Anna, that's a beautiful, beautiful picture I have. It sounds so peaceful. Oh, it's Mary, thank you. Mary says, go shut down and have a glass of wine. I already started. I poured it. I had a little sip before I started. Um, so, yeah, I just, oh, please don't, wait, I love this one. Virginia, you've got to have a balance in your life. Take care of yourself. Virginia, we've all of us, my whole team have been saying, especially me, I need to find a balance. I need to find a balance. That's been going on for over like 8, 9 years. Okay, I'm 51. I don't know when I'll get there, but I'm better. I am a little bit better. Actually, I'm a lot better, but it's really hard when so many animals are depending on you and there's so many emergencies. You kind of put yourself on the back burner. You really do. You wouldn't have it any other way. Have too much passion. Amen to that, Kelly. I'm just scrolling through. Another one, Pamela. Pamela, did I answer you yet, Lazarus? Go back, the videos before mine. You are, Sandy. You're living with us. You're living vicarious through us. You're part of this family. You're part of our rescue. I haven't had a vacation in 8 years. Going on 9. Haven't had a vacation. Can't take one. I can't. Can't leave my animals. And I can't leave my rescues. Aw, thanks, Michelle. That's so sweet. I'm your inspiration. That means a lot. That really means a lot. Thank you. Hey, that's a great, Debbie. Thank you. Get me off the subject. Let's talk. Oh my God, my hand's frozen from holding this phone up. I can't feel my hand. Excuse me. Gotta switch. Gage and Godiva update. So I spoke to Daddy Dan, and they are doing fantastic. Actually, Pam and Colleen went over there to visit. They brought a kiddie pool. They went for a walk, and Dan said he had his cousin over and her friend, a guy and a girl. And Gage and Godiva did fantastic. They love the pool. Godiva, are you ready for this? Godiva sleeps in bed with Dan every night. She's a bed hog by his head on the pillow. Sleeps with him. And Gage is a bed hog. Like, he has no respect for space. And Dan's like, oh no, you can't take over the whole bed. So now Gage sleeps next to the bed on the raised part of the bed, which is so amazing because poor Godiva, for 2 years, she loves soft and cushy in beds, and she could never have it. After Gage destroyed our beautiful leather sectional that we had in that room, piece by piece, we had to remove. And then we tried. Susan Ho had donated a thick, because she couldn't stand seeing them without something cushy. We'd put beds, they would shred. We'd put comforters, they would shred. We'd put blankets, they would shred. He would shred. I bought lawn chairs, chaises, shredded them in 2 seconds. We're like, okay, screw this. So we got thick plastic chaise chairs and we put some blankets on. And still he would shred the blankets, but at least we had something for them to lay on. So poor Mama Godiva poor thing could not have a fluffy bed or a cushy bed. Guess what? Now she's sleeping right by the pillow, and she has her cushy bed. She has her couch. She's in heaven. They're Zooming. They're playing. I'm hoping it's a foster fail. He did say to me, called me the other day, and he said, I was thinking, they're not ready to find a forever home. They're just settling, and I think it would be very confusing for them. And I said, I'm hoping you're going to be a foster fail. And he laughed at me. And then I said, I can't imagine, the thought of them going from this, then to ever have to go back to that room. He said, that will never happen. So he's in it for the long haul. I hope he's a foster fail. It is surreal still. I will go over there one night. He invited Carol and I over to come over and see them. We'll go over and hang out and have a glass of wine and just, spend some time with our babies. So we're super, super, super happy about Gage and Godiva. I can't even explain to you how my heart is just so full knowing that they're in a home environment after 2 years. So everybody pray for a foster fail. What else? Did you rescue? No, we're good on dog food right now, but thank you, Donna. You know we need something. We put out that urgent, urgent, urgent. Please, 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 we have no food. We have no food. I'll be honest with you. I think for now we're good as far as food and things like that. But we do need help. I don't know what situation everybody's in with the pandemic. So, oh, hold on that one. Juan, hold on. I'll come back to that. But we do need, Sen is great, guys. Sen is great. We do need donations to, help us with the vet bills. We do have a lot of high vet bills with, the new puppy, 4,000, the 24-hour Charlie today, and all these dogs that came in. Puppy Judah's going to be having, that's another thing. Baby Judah with the tumor was supposed to be the 21st. We had his blood recheck today, and Dr. Babevsky said, that's a mouthful. Dr. Babevsky said she would really rather, he's doing great, but she would like to push it off one more week and add some liquid iron supplement for puppies. So I just ordered that. It'll be in Thursday. And he will have, Wilbur's great. Wilbur's is awesome. I miss him. I didn't see him today. And Lazarus, update is the video before mine. See what happens. People jump on and they didn't hear anything I said. So yeah, that's Deuce. Lazarus is now, for any of you that don't know, this is what I told Tiffany. It's going to be very confusing. Lazarus, a.k.a. Deuce, also known as Puppy Lazarus, is Deuce. Because Tiffany didn't like Deuce. She said it has something to do with taking a poop. Going number 2, whatever that means. Never heard it before. Don't understand it, but okay. We give Waruva chicken for the dogs. They love it. Disco's amazing. Adopted amazing. She has her own disco page. Anyways, we need your help by donating. Thank you. These are all Jamie's jewelry, by the way. Jamie's jewelry made with love. These are all my doggies' names. And I even have Glory on here today. But I have all my dogs' names on here. They're single bracelets. And they're awesome. Aren't they awesome? They all have my names. Got Brody and Maggie and Wilton. Love them. So Jamie's jewelry, love you. Thank you. Actually, Jamie's jewelry, I forgot. So much going on. She made a Judah bracelet. So we're going to be putting the Judah bracelet up. So that's the proceeds are $20 a bracelet. So the proceeds are going to go towards baby Judah's surgery that's coming up. Okay, here we go. So everybody's asking me, I'm getting a lot of people asking about Glenn Kaufman, who adopted our Lorelei. If you saw our post, he went into the hospital and they admitted him and he had corona. And he's been in the hospital fighting on a respirator ever since. And I was told they took him off the respirator. And not only did they take him off the respirator, he's out of ICU in his own room. So Glenn Kaufman, we love you. Prayer works. You are a fighter, my friend. And I know you fought so hard if you're watching this. He's in a regular room. I love you. From the day I met you and you sat in shit and you met our girl, you are so special and you need to keep fighting. You need to come back to us and you need to come back to Lorelei because your baby girl needs you. She's waiting for you and we're waiting for you. So get your ass out of that hospital and get yourself home. We love you and we are praying for you, Glenn Kaufman. Everybody keep those prayers going for Glenn, please. Please. And for any one of you that are dealing with a loved one, a friend, a family member, that is maybe fighting or on the front line, the nurses, the doctors, the workers that are, loading up so we can go get our toilet paper and our food. Please, 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 please. Let them know how much we love and appreciate them, and please stay safe. And for any of you that have lost anybody, we're so sorry. This is a horrible, horrible time that we are going through. It is just so horrifically sad. And I don't even have any words because I feel like I am living in some sort of a twilight zone. I went out today with Carol. I just went to the bank in the drive-through, and we're sanitizing, and we've got our masks on, and then we went to Walgreens, and we're standing in certain positions in the back of, together, but with our masks on and looking around. I'm afraid to touch the what do you call it? I can't even think. The pad to put in your number to get your discount, because Carol loves her coupon discount. So I asked for a piece of paper towel so I can press the number, and then I'm sanitizing. I'm afraid to touch the change. I don't want the receipt. It's crazy. Can I see your license? If you need to grab a pack of cigarettes, don't touch my license. Can you just look at it? I mean, I can't even imagine going back to normal. I don't even know. Yeah, the credit card pad machine, exactly. It's just so scary. It's so scary. Keypad, thanks, Daisy. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm so fried. What would I do without all of you to finish my sentences? Seriously. All right. I love you. I love you guys, and I want you to know how much we wear gloves. I'm not, you know what? I did wear the gloves at first, but then I found out that I was more like touching things with the gloves after I touch things, and I watched that video. So I'm not. Little Nugget's great. He's so cute. Oh my God, he's so cute. And the new guy, Steely Dan is blind. He's an old little guy, and he's so sweet, guys. Is there somebody out there that can take in a senior that's so sweet but is blind? There has to be somebody. Please. Oh, Tango's so good. So good in foster. They love him. Love him. Please, I need to find a home for the little senior. It's killing me. It's killing me. Steely Dan. Now, if I left him on the street, he was being kept in a backyard, and he was blind and dirt. He was so filthy. Please, somebody. He's a little non-shedding, cutest little thing. Cutest little thing. There has to be somebody out there that has room in their home, in their heart for a little senior that's blind. Come on. There has to be another Ken and Barbie out there. It can't just be Ken and Barbie all the time. Ugh. Share, share, share. And please donate if you can. And again, stop asking about other dogs. Everybody's great. We do updates of all of our dogs all the time. Red is great. Sen is great. Zoe's in a home great. I checked up. She's great. Everybody's fantastic. Fantastic. No, I don't do gloves. I don't do gloves. I wash my hands a lot, and I do that hand sanitizer. Love you guys. Stay safe. This is Amy, 100 Plus Abandoned Dogs of Everglades, Florida. We'll see you tomorrow. Sweet dreams.